passed away about 3 years ago or so. He was retired, living in the area, but he was the AU commander, and he was called the Ivory Snow Ace because in Korea he had 4 confirmed kills and like 3 probables, and so he was 99 and 44 100th, like Ivory Snow soap, an ace, they said, right? And so he comes as a commander, and the Air Force was going through kind of a crisis after Vietnam, like how do we get our warrior spirit back? So they had this Project Warrior thing they had, like, and I was in ROTC when that was going on, and emphasizing all these warrior virtues. So he's like, okay, what do we need to do to make this happen? And somebody floated the idea, you should have static display airplanes. And most people on staff are like, oh yeah, that's crap. And he's like, no, that's a great idea. So one of the first planes they got was his one, like him, his F-86. They painted it like his. And then around 2000, the American Fighter Aces Association, the guy who was in charge of it, using access to Russian records, was able to confirm that one of his probables was actually a kill. So they repainted the plane to show that he's an ace, and they modified the thing to say that. So he is America's most recent ace. As of 2000, he got the awards that he would have gotten if he'd have been declared an ace back then and everything. And so that started it. And then we had a bunch of guys who had been Vietnam veterans, so they got the Vietnam planes. And his plane, Cleveland's plane, was originally over here, and they moved it over there. And since he was in the local area, he was upset because he's like, it should be over here. But he was kind of mollified because that parking lot used to be a tennis court, and he was a huge tennis player. And then they paved over the tennis court and made it a parking lot, and he got pissed again. And he spent a lot of his life being pissed about it. So anyway, that one's by itself, and then they put all the Vietnam ones here. And then finally, General Boyd, Chuck Boyd, who was the AU commander in the 90s, he had been a POW in Vietnam, and he was the highest ranking POW, like he got to be a 4-star. They talked about putting another plane. He's like, I'll be damned if we're going to put another plane out here and not honor the people of the Air Force. So they proposed putting this statue of Carl Richter here, and he's an Academy graduate from like 1965. He was the youngest American pilot to shoot down a MiG in Vietnam. He flew 100 missions, which was a normal tour, in the F-105. And then when he was on leave, like his midterm leave, instead of going like to Thailand or Australia,